What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I wanted to break down what's happening with SPY, Tsla, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down what's happening with the economic calendar moving forward, what's going on with other factors involving the markets, what you should be watching for as we approach next week. But before I begin to detail all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am personally not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo and deposit $100, you are guaranteed 7 free stocks. And the offer ends in just 11 days from now, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, now let's break down what's happening to the markets. So, looking at SPY, we had a very, very interesting day. I did mention to everyone that we had a temporary top right over here at this 531 area, and we would likely see a little bit of downside after that, and that's what kind of happened from here. We also got a little pop and drop like move as we predicted today before buyers returned getting good volume at the very end of the day. And we saw some nice price action, which does suggest the market may actually try to push higher going into Monday. So the question is, what's going to happen leading up to Monday and for the first couple of days of the week? We have some very important stuff coming out I want to talk about, and I'll break down the charts after that. So today was the start of Friday. We actually had Waller giving a speech, nothing too crazy. For Saturday, we have Kugler giving a speech. And then for Sunday, May 19th, we have Jerome Powell himself giving another speech. And whatever he says about the economy, excuse me, about the economy could pump the markets or cause some kind of moves. So we'll just have to wait and see what he ends up saying. For Monday, May 20th, we also have a lot of other stuff coming out. We have Bostic, Barr, Waller, not to mention Jefferson, all giving their speeches. And we have the same thing happening again for Tuesday. So it's all going to be Fed speakers all day for Monday and Tuesday. For Wednesday, we have the FOMC minutes coming out. For Thursday, we have the PMI report. And that's pretty much it, at least for the time being. Quite a bit of data is going to be coming out. Now, I also want to call out that for earnings, we have a new calendar that's been revised. This is what's happening so far. For Monday, we have Lee Auto announcing its earnings and a few others. We have Wix and a couple more. Then we have Palo Alto Networks and Zoom announcing their earnings after the market closes for Monday. For Tuesday, we have more retail coming out, such as Macy's, Lowe's, and AutoZone. For Wednesday, we have Target, TJ Maxx, and a few others. And just know that Wednesday is going to be a very important day because after the market closes, we have the one and only Nvda announcing its earnings. Whatever they announce is going to be super, super important, and we'll see what this causes for the markets. So with Nvidia announcing its earnings, we'll see what this causes. It's going to likely cause some crazy moves, at least for the broader markets, and we'll see what ends up happening to them. Guidance is going to be super important, so we'll see if the potential recession is going to end up affecting them or not. So I'll give that some time and see how things go. Then we have more retail, some banks, and also like Ross announcing earnings on Thursday. And then that's pretty much it, at least for the rest of the day. For more data coming out, the market is currently greedy in terms of the fear and greed index. We're not even at extremes just yet. Market momentum is still greedy as buyers are still stepping in and defending. Coming down here, you guys can also see that the puts and call option positioning is dipping to 0.7 as the majority of puts are being closed, and we're seeing more call buying in the broader markets. Market volatility is also neutral. We're seeing the VIX falling to the lowest levels we've seen in about 2 years. So it's pretty crazy. Right now, the majority of sentiment is still once again driving the VIX down. We're at some very, very key levels, and the VIX has lost the 12.4 area, which is a big anomaly, at least for the year so far. So with that being said, let's talk about the chart. What's going to likely happen? We're going to likely see a little rebound because this drop we called out did happen. It did happen. We did call this move, but then we got bought back up at the very end of the day. So the question is this a temporary top? Are we going to come down like this and then establish a lower high and then reject? We'll be watching to see if that's the move, depending on what Jerome Powell says. So I'll be watching for something like this. But that's the more bearish case. The bullish case is this. If we end up doing something that's crazy, we end up breaking the all-time high again, thanks to Jerome Powell's speech, we could continue to rally if we establish a higher low again and continue to push, and the market could remain bullish for the time being. Those are the two main possibilities, at least for now, on SPY, in my personal opinion. So we will see if the bearish case or bullish case comes out. I do anticipate we're going to be pushing to the 530s at the very least, though. I do see that coming. So expect a little bit of upside in the beginning, then we'll see if we get a rejection or not after Powell's speech. Do we establish a lower high and reject, or do we break this all-time high? If we break the all-time high, we're back to bullish. Market's going to continue to rally, and there's nothing really stopping it, at least for now. So what do I see? At the very least, I'll tell you this. We're going to pump higher. We're most likely going to pump higher on SPY. That's very probable. And then we'll see if we get a rejection or not. I'll be open-minded to anything. And I also want to note that the uptrend is still intact as long as we're above 525. So even if we were to dip down to 525, we could still bounce later on. If we lose 525 and start sinking, then yes, we could turn a lot more bearish. That's also another very pivotal level. With that being said, I'm going to keep this analysis kind of simple and short. We'll be watching for this next week. For Tesla, we look a little bit more bullish. We have a very, very nice looking inverse head and shoulders like structure. And we also have a nice accumulation that developed right over here. So I think that Tesla is going to likely dip a bit on Monday and start pushing higher. We're going to try to fill this imbalance at 180, and we could go even higher from here. This also kind of resembles a very sloppy looking like cup and handle. So it might try to push higher. I see upside potential in Tesla stock, in my opinion. For the QQQ, just like SPY, I see the same thing happening. So I think that this is going to likely pop a little bit to retest 453, 452 first, our 20 EMA, and then 453. And we'll see if we get a bounce or not. Are we going to? So it's going to rebound most likely. Do we get stopped here and then start rejecting down? Or do we do the opposite? Do we start to break past this high? If we break the all time high at 454, then we could be going into much higher levels like this. I'll be watching to see which way we end up breaking. But at the very least, I do think we're going to be pushing closer to about 453 again. Powell's speech may pump the markets again. Then we'll see if we get a rug pull or not. I'll be watching to see what the move is. Do we pump and establish a lower high and then dump, or do we break the all-time high and continue to rally? Either way, expect a little rally and see what the move is for us moving forward. Apple's also range bound right now, trading sideways between 189 and 190.5. With us trading sideways in this range, we'll have to see which way we break. So give this some time. And if we do break to the upside, we'll watch. And I'll just be very patient and open minded nonetheless. For more stocks out there, just to be really blunt, uh, Amazon's trading sideways. We have resistance at 185. If we break that, look for 187. If we reject, you're going to be dipping back down. So I do see a test of the 185.3 area, our 200 EMA. If we break this, we could be continuing to maintain this range, this range right here. So I'll be watching that. For Meta, it's the same thing essentially. We have resistance at 472, support at 468. We'll see what we do from here. Still trading sideways. For GME, we're looking a little bit more bearish. I could see this dip closer to 17 first before we try to bounce. So it still looks a bit more bearish to me. Same thing on AMC. We have a gap below, and we could even dip a little bit more, if anything. So the market's pretty wild, guys. I just want to make it very clear that we have some crazy stuff going on. And although there is upside potential in the markets, we have to be very open minded to anything. And we want to be very, very unbiased when it comes to the way we see things. So we'll be watching for a big test that's coming next week. The market's going to pump higher, but will we get a big rejection off the pump, or are we going to continue to push higher? We'll just wait and see. I'll keep the video very short. It is Friday, and we have a weekend coming up. So I just want to say I really appreciate you guys again. Have an absolutely incredible rest of the day. Enjoy the weekend that's coming up. Enjoy your Friday, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow during either the evening or maybe early in the morning, depending on where you are around the world. So I'll see you guys soon tomorrow. Take care, guys, and peace out.